Welcome back to another episode of 40 Facts About the 40K Universe. I am your host, Gershwin, and you are watching One Mind Syndicate. Today we continue talking about Chaos Spacemarines as we get into the Night Lords. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. We post Warhammer 40K content every single day. If you have any suggestions, comment down below. And if you enjoy these videos, don't forget to share them with your friends. But with that said, let's get into 40 facts on the motivation of the Night Lords. There are many dreaded creatures that dwell in the swirling waves of the Eye of Terror. Terrible demons and horrific monsters vie with cruel pirates and Valzinos to spread death and destruction throughout the realm and nearby Imperial holdings. Yet few among these are as feared as the Chaos Space Marines of the Night Lord's Traitor Legion. Since before the Horus Heresy, this legion has perfected the craft of sowing terror, discord, and confusion amongst its victims, and its corrupted Astartes have become even more sadistic and depraved as the long Terran centuries have passed. The Night Lords are sadistic killers who delight in terrorizing their foes before slaughtering them without mercy or restraint. They are cruel, ruthless, and opportunistic, frequently striking at vulnerable targets and toying with their unfortunate victims. When the Night Lords kill, they kill violently and slowly, savoring the pain and the horror on their victims' faces as the last moment of life leaves them. Such acts are not undertaken in honor of the Chaos Gods. Rather, a Night Lord kills simply because he can. Certainly there may be other motives behind this action, but more often than not, that motive is only to wet his gauntlets in the blood of his victims. The Night Lords are veterans of countless campaigns of terror and conquest. Each member of the Legion is highly trained and proficient in the use of terror tactics, psychological warfare, and lightning raids and ambushes, intended to leave his opponents completely demoralized and easy targets for the depraved Chaos Space Marines of his Legion. The Night Lords frequently operate as mercenaries for renegade warbands and other pirate raiders, selling their skills to the highest bidder in return for plunder and the chance to pick the chosen targets that most appeal to their sadistic tendencies. However, the Night Lords harbor no true alliance to any ruinous powers, nor to the mightiest Chaos Lords. Their path is their own, and woe to any who assume otherwise. The thrill of battle does not concern them, as they often bypass able foes, instead attacking prey too weak to resist, and ruthlessly hunting down all before them. Afterwards, the Night Lords mutilate and butcher their victims, thereby providing grisly examples of what fate awaits those who fall prey to the Legion. A few will even undertake raids on their own if it suits their needs, their abilities and tactics more than making up for any discrepancy in the fighting strength. Indeed, there are tales of lone Night Lords terrorizing entire hives and bringing these mighty cities to their knees in sprees of bloodshed and fear. The Night Lords have no concept of honor and may change sides during a battle, or treacherously attack their allies in order to suit their own needs. The Legion holds no true allegiance and views all religious devotion as a form of weakness. Instead of faith, it is their love of killing, especially of terrified defenseless prey, that unites the Legion and has led them to serve the cause of chaos. Though they do not serve a single Chaos God, the Night Lords regularly ally with others, far more devoted followers of chaos. Night Lords are exceptionally versatile in their use of the forces of chaos, employing the hell-spawn powers of each of the major chaos deities with equal favor. It is just as likely that the Night Lords will be seen fighting alongside a group of foul Plague Marines as at the side of an undead warrior of the Thousand Suns. However, it has been ascertained that the Night Lords have nothing but scorn for faiths in all its forms, whether it be the fanatical bloodlust of the Khorne Berserkers or the devotion of the Imperial Creed. The only authority that the Astartes of this traitor legion truly recognize is that of the temporal power and martial wealth. The gene seed of the Night Lords seems surprisingly pure, bearing the least evidence of mutation. Before their fall to chaos, the only notable physical abnormality was their jet black eyes and pale skin, which became even more prevalent with the introduction of the genetic material of the dour people of Nostromo. However, the real legacy of their mad primar may have been psychological, as there was a tendency for paranoia and self-destructive behaviors displayed by many within the Night Lords. It is also said that their chaos sorcerers have a pronounced vulnerability that causes them to be racked with painful seizures, in which they experience visions, oblique or not, of the future. The Night Haunter was believed to have only been able to see the darkest path of all possible futures, a terrible curse, and the visions tended to be self-fulfilling. It is hoped that the Night Lord sorcerers suffered the same fate. This is as yet a speculation. However, given their Primarch's susceptibility to such prophecies, it seems more than likely. An example of the sadistic nature of most Night Lord attacks can be found in the tale of Scoundrel's Fall. A small flotilla of Night Lord ships slip through the Cadian Gate and spend months in the warp avoiding detection. Scoundrel's Fall, a small planet located 100 light-years from Terra, is chosen as a target because of its large Schola Progenium Abbey, a training ground of future Imperial military officers, Inquisitors, Commissars, Stormtroopers, and Sisters of Battle. After 7 days of fighting, there were no survivors left from the Night Lord's attack, and the butchered remains from both sides are laid out in a talismanic pattern to help with the summoning of a demonic horde. Demons rampaged across half of the world, while the Night Lords headed to the Eye of Terror, eluding Imperial warships intended to capture them. The daring of the attack sent shockwaves throughout the military organizations of the Segmentum Solar, and resulted in the court-martial and penitent exile of the Lord Commander in charge. Another sadistic example of the Night Lord's destruction can be found in the incident known as the False Saviors of Garagos. Together with the Alpha Legion, the Night Lords saved the algae-mining Gargos encampment from being completely overrun by Wa Crushback. The members of this seemingly benevolent strike force are largely clad in the colors and insignia of loyalist Space Marines, giving the populace of Garagos a few blissful days of hope. Only when the orcs are driven off-world do they realize they have merely exchanged one set of persecutors for another, and that the second doom to befall them is far more malevolent. The population of Garagos is then subsequently enslaved and brutally treated by both legions. And those were 40 facts on the motivation of the Night Lords. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This lore is something that we've talked about before in another Night Lords video. I just wanted to redo it. We're probably going to end up doing the whole initial series of the introduction of each Chaos Space Marine chapter all over again, just because I want to make them just better. We posted them like a couple years ago when the quality of our mics wasn't all that great, and just the way that we talked wasn't all that great. There have been some improvement, guys. But yeah, if you guys have any other suggestions, or if you guys have a specific Space Marine Legion that you guys would like us to talk about first, don't forget to comment down below. And yeah, the Night Lords are pretty badass. Their whole lore always kind of leads me to believe that it was the fact that the Night Haunter was basically recruiting criminals that pushed them over the edge to chaos. Because if you think about it, there's other, like the Ultramarines and the Blood Angels that didn't really recruit sadistic killers like the lore says, but rather like honorable warriors. The Space Wolves do it. The best of the best in their tribes of Fenris get inducted into the Space Marines. So maybe if the actual gene seed was implanted into honorable individuals, then the fate of the traitorous Night Haunters wouldn't be there. But who knows? I might create a 40 facts video speculating on what it would be like, if the Night Lords never went chaos, or if the Night Haunter never went chaos, or something like that. But again, guys, thank you so much for listening, and if you like our videos and you want to see more, don't forget that we have a Patreon. A simple $1 a month helps us create more videos for you guys. If you can't support us on Patreon, no worries, we understand. Simply by liking, commenting, and sharing, it helps out the channel. And of course, that really does help out with the giveaways, which the giveaway for our subscriber appreciation giveaway is coming up pretty soon. Any suggestions you guys can put down in the comment section below. What starter set would you most be interested in? But yeah, guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. This was Gershwin with One Mind Syndicate signing out.